friends, let's talk about influential figures in other worlds. Enjoy watching.
Johannes Gutenberg was born between the years 1394 to 1404 in the city of Mainz, Germany. However, in 1890 the city of Mainz declared his symbolic birth date to be June 24, 1400. Born Johannes Gensfleisch zur Leyden zum Gutenberg, he was the son of a merchant who had been a German nobleman. Gutenberg is considered the inventor of the type of movable metal that made printing many books practical for the first time. Movable type revolutionized printing, fostered standardization of type size and ushered in early mass communication in 15th-century Europe. Printed books existed long before Gutenberg. The oldest book is one from China produced in 868 AD when wooden blocks were engraved with the characters and then signed. 11th-century Chinese books and 13th-century Korean books show that the printing was done by several types of moves. However, because Asian languages use thousands of character-complex words instead of letters from the alphabet, movable type has limited practicality. In Europe, perhaps 20 years before Gutenberg, a Dutch church official, Laurens Janssen Koster, is credited with using some movable type but not with the exact system Gutenberg established. Gutenberg was born sometime between 1395 and 1400 in Mainz, Germany, to a wealthy political family named Gensfleisch, but is most commonly known by his mother's name, Gutenberg. Little did he know the other young man was probably a member of the Goldsmiths' Guild. Local political upheaval caused him to be exiled from Mainz and he moved to Strasbourg, Germany, where he worked in secret with partners on the invention of his printing press. Gutenberg worked on letterpress, a mold for each individual letter of the alphabet cast out of an equal amount of metal alloy. Letters can be arranged together with words and even lines and then locked together into rigid shapes, making up a page. The form was placed on a printing press and the letters were covered with ink similar to the paint used by early Flemish artists. When sheets of paper stick to the letters, thousands of copies of the same page can be produced in no time. With this invention, type can then be separated and reused to make other pages. This process could make books faster and cheaper to produce. After the death of one of those partners, the nature of Gutenberg's invention was brought to light in an experiment in which his partner's heirs attempted to sue Gutenberg. Gutenberg won the lawsuit and later became partners with a wealthy benefactor named Johann Fust. Fust, a practical person, wanted to print a book that would sell many copies. The two agreed to work on the Bible. Their most famous achievement was the Gutenberg Bible printed in 1455. It is also called the 42-line Bible, referring to the fact that each page has 42 typed lines. However, Gutenberg wanted to spend time working on other creative projects and perfecting his printing process. This fuss led to suing Gutenberg, and this time Gutenberg was the big loser. Then Fust and his son-in-law Petrus Schaffer, a calligrapher and former student of Gutenberg, became printers of the famous hymn book in 1457. But many people believe that Gutenberg did at least part of the book because of the fine workmanship. Despite lawsuits and quarrels, Gutenberg did not enjoy the fruits of his labor later in his life by being named courtiers and receiving an annual allowance. By the time he died on February 3, 1468, Gutenberg's discoveries had spread throughout Europe, north to Sweden, east to Poland, west to Portugal. Printing was the first mass production industry, allowing one person, a printer, to do work previously done by many handwriting by scribes. Its impact on communication is far-reaching. Although improvements were made in the Gutenberg method, no major changes were made in printing until the 20th century.
Well, that's a glimpse of the story. Hopefully it will be an innovation and add to our insight so that we can see the world to be more meaningful. Thank you very much. Wait for the next story.